Okay, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the file name. So I'll just say some name. Okay, some bal info text. Okay, and then now I need to convey where this file is, right? So first thing what we will do, we will write into the file, or else can we read from the file? Which one we can try? Let's read this file from, let's read this file. Let me go ahead and create, I'll create this file here. Okay, new text file. Okay, this is the file I want to read. Okay, I'll say this is Java codes crash course. Okay, I'll say this. I want to read this data into my Java and display it. Okay, so how can we read it? So first I need the file name. What is the whatever the file name is, and the next thing is I want the file path. Right? I want the file path. How can I get the file path? This is the way you need to get. There are different ways. I'll show you. First, you need to take this one, copy, and file. There is a class called file. F equal to new file of. You need to give fully qualified path here. Okay, if you remember, slash you in the string, slash is a escape character. In order to handle the escape character, you need to put one more slash. Okay, or else let's say you want to create a file here itself in the bell what you call com bell batch 622. We'll see that first. For now, let's say here we have, okay, batch bell java core b6, and then what is the file name we have? This is the file name. Okay, now you conveyed the Java object file where your file is. You just let the system know where your file is. Okay, for now we are hard coding the path, but later we will see how to get the dynamically the path. Okay, then three things you need to do. Okay, three things you need to do. As we are reading the data from file, read data from file and display it. So try, don't worry, I'll explain. Text, take some text, and buffered reader br equal to new buffered reader of. These lines going to be fixed anytime. Okay, I'll explain what exactly we're doing also. This one, expect new file reader of You can pass this full path here. New file reader. This is one way of. There are bunch of ways to read the file. So this is one way. What I did here, I created a buffer reader, reads text from character input stream, buffering characters so as to provide the efficient reading characters, arrays and lines. What it's trying to say is, it's trying to read the lines from the file that you pass. In order to pass the path of the file, you need to provide the new file reader. Through new file reader, you can say you can pass by passing the new file reader to buffer reader. Buffer reader is nothing but like reading the data from the from outside system to inside to JVM. Okay, so it reads efficient way, like it doesn't like it doesn't read one character at a time. It will like it will read more characters, like it caches and then give it back, caches and give it back. That's the reason it's a buffer reader. Okay, now you got buffer reader. All you need to do is while voice is breaking again. Oh god. Okay, so if you guys have get any echo also, let me know, I'll adjust. So what we're trying to do here is, we just through our Java concept, Java object, buffer reader, by passing our full path, we get to know how to read the file. I mean, you conveyed where the file is, and from now onwards, we started reading the file. Okay. Basically, simple, typical line is, br dot read line. Okay. So here what we'll do is text not equal to text dot, you are assigning br dot read line into a text, and if text is, what is this written? Yeah, so not to confuse, let me keep it simple. Br dot read line not equal to null, that is if the end of the file, then what I will do, sysout br dot Hey guys, so how about now? Something real weird going on, man. Okay. Yeah, let me know. It's okay. We'll try, man. I don't want to. I know it's really annoying, but let's try for some more time. If it happens like again, then we'll stop. We'll figure out something else. Okay. For now, let's try. Okay. Yeah, you don't hesitate to say that you guys not able to hear. There is no point. I'm keep talking, right? It's okay to stop. Okay. Yeah. So it is looking for catch. What kind of errors will happen? Let's say I'll show you a simple way to surround the error. Let's say unhandled exceptions surround with the try catch block, right? So what is the video problem, Naveen? Are you having a video problem?
Like it's stuck there. There is no movement in the video.
Oh, okay. I think now you can see it, I believe. Right?
There's nothing. I couldn't see anything now.
Now you are not seeing anything?
Yeah, nothing. That's just a
Give me a second.
blank screen.
You can see the screen.
Yeah, now I can see the video too. Like just scroll the cursor so that I can let you know.
See, I'm moving my cursor. I'm moving the file up and down.
No, I couldn't see
But
anything. Like it is stuck there like file not found. Like it is selected.
Yeah, can you do? Let me disconnect first and then try connecting.
Okay.
See now, same problem.
No, now it's good.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, go on to mute. So whenever you want, if you start writing code, right? Sometimes it will annoy you, like some errors. You remember there are some errors which you cannot escape. You must. Okay, so there are some errors which you cannot compile. There are some exceptions which you always show before you running the program, right? What are those exceptions? Compile time exceptions, right? Caught exceptions. So for those caught exceptions, all you need to do is right click on it, surround with try catch. That's it. It will generate whatever the exceptions it looks for. Okay. Let's try to read this data. And so once you read the data, you're just trying to display, right? Let's see what happens. You got null. Why? Because it read the data here itself. So what we can do is br dot I'm just trying to see. I'll try this, okay? br.read not equal to -1 read it. Where is our text file? Some letter we are missing. Why is that? We'll see. Did we wrote it or missed it? It is there. This is the Bell Java course crash course, right? This is the Bell Java crash course. So something wrong here with the read line. Also, what we can do is we can read here itself and capture that into text file. Okay, what we're trying to do is first capture the result into text file. Okay, first time, and then if that once you read it, if it is not equal to null, okay, that's what we're doing. 2 steps in a single line, because it's when you try with other methods, it is eating out the first character, and you need to print text. Here what we're doing, first we be a BufferedReader.read line and text. It will be whatever the string that it read will be assigned to text, and text we will verify whether it is null or not. If it is not null, display. On the second line, it is null, so it doesn't display. So now you got it. So let me say I'll write like I am at third line leaving second line, second row empty. Okay. This is the end of. This is the end. I'll just blah blah blah. Now let's start the program. See, it's reading, right? So what's happening is it's trying to find out number of characters that has been there, number of strings that has been there, and then it displays it. Okay, that's how it works. So this is one way. There are old methodologies, like I don't want to get into file input stream, buffered input stream, data input stream. There are different ways of reading the file and writing into the file. This is the simplest way of reading the file, okay? Buffer reader. Okay, so when we have an option of reading, we have an option of writing into it, right? Writing into the same file, right? So how do we need to write the file into the file? There is something I'm forgetting here. Yeah, let me show you this, dynamically how to read this one as well. So let's try to display, okay? String, you want working directory, okay, where you are working directory, anything, okay, string working directory, you can ask system dot get property user dot dir. It should return as, I believe, the directory, working directory, wherever the program is running. Let's see. Yeah, see, it will come up to, what you called whatever the location that we are looking for. So now you got the working directory. All you need to do is you need to create the file name, right? Just like the full path you got up to here, you want to find out the file name as well. You want to append it. How do you append it, right? So string, I'm taking another one, full path equal to working directory plus file dot separator. Okay, separator. If you look at file separator, it uses get file separator, whatever the file separator definition that I have, it can use this, that is nothing but slash. Slash is the file separator, right? So slash plus, what is our file name? So instead of, now you can pass this full path here. Instead of writing hard coded value, you can pass like this. Okay, so all we need to know in order to get the full path is file name. File name also we can ask from the console. So there is no hard coding data anywhere in our code, right? Anywhere in our code, right? So that is another way. And one second, I'm just looking at file writing option. So this is one way of reading the file example. I'll just rename it as file reader demo. Okay, next one is we need how to write onto the file, right? File writer demo. In this place, all you need to do is again same thing. What text you want to write, right? So let's say I'll take string text. I am adding this line onto my file. Okay. Next thing is what is the file name, right? String file name equal to, let's take some new file, okay, where you haven't created at all. Okay, let's say batch6.txt. okay, you have not yet created outside as well, right? There is no batch6 file that you created anywhere. Okay, then what you'll do, now you understand how to get the path, right? Working directory, all that. So file path as system dot get property user dot directory. So it will give you up to your project directory location. Then you need to create absolute path. String absolute path equal to path plus file dot separator plus what is the file name? You need to log on with, okay, file name. Okay, so now you created the file. So next thing is, you just identified the absolute path, you haven't created the file, sorry. One way of doing is, file writer fw equal to new file writer it expects some values, okay. Here file name, full path, absolute path you need to pass, right? What is it expecting? Let's see. File writer, file name, okay. I'll pass absolute path here and see what happens. Yeah, same thing, right? It starts crying. We'll see that later. If we are there. So then you need to have a buffered writer BW equal to new buffered writer. You need to pass this your file writer. Same thing we did right here also. But there we haven't created explicitly, we covered it in single line. Shell file reader, and then you pass here, we directly passing this file reader full path, but there we explicitly passed the full path and created the file writer and then passing file writer here. Okay. Yes. So then what we need to do, what data you want to write? What data you want to write? Then so buffered writer dot write. What are the characters you want to write? You are trying to write this one. Text. Okay. I will close it, don't worry. Then BW dot flush and then BW dot close. What we did here is surround with okay. So what we're trying to do is first we created a file writer by passing our absolute path. Okay. And then you pass that file writer to buffer reader because buffer reader looks for file writer. And once you got the buffer reader, you need to pass what text you want to write. Okay. Then once you write into the file, you need to flush it. You need to flush it in the sense, I am done and go and update it. Then you need to close this buffer reader, buffer writer, because buffer writer is like it established the connection. Basically what it does, this is your JVM, this is your text file. This is your JVM where your program is running. So buffer reader, it establishes the connection and try to write it. As and when you're done updating this guy, you convey that flush it into the text file and close it. We don't want those connections keep on opening, right? In this case, let's say something went wrong here or some exception happened here. Then it never gets closed. So what do you need to do? Right? You need to do finally close this, move this guy into here. When you move this guy here, you will get an error. There is no scope because you created here. So you need to take out this and create empty value here and then assign BW. So now the scope increases and it will be available. Closing also throws with. If you try to close when there is no connection, it will throw an exception, right? So you need to have a try catch block again inside. Let's try to write this one into where batch 6 text. Let's see whether it creates or not. So it's created batch 6. Let's open it. I'm adding this line onto my file. This sounds right. So when let's say I want to add one more line. Next second line, expecting on second line. So if I run this program, I should have this line and then I should have the new line that I written, right? Let's see what happens. So let me run this program. Go back and open it. My first line gone. Only second line is expecting here. So what you want to, what if you, so it is, and you remember you are not even created that file. So what happens? It automatically creates. If the file is not available, it will create the file and it will start writing onto the file. But you may have a concern that what if I want to add text dynamically and you know, for some reason this is getting overridden. Like let's say I am saying like, you know, scan equal to new scanner system.in, okay, and what I will do is here instead of this line scan dot next, I'll read it from console and run the program. Let's see. First time running the program. Okay, let's see and go back and check here this guy. Just first is there, right? So I mean, because of the way we read, you know, there is space, right? It always scanner considered as this string is ended here itself. Okay, that is different issue. Nothing to worry about it. So I'll put it first time running this program. Now if you open it, you can see the first time running this program. So when I run second time, but its first time file will be overridden. This text will be gone. If I try to run this program, second time updating my file. You go here, second time updating my file is there, but first time updating my file gone. So what if you want to preserve? You want to preserve, all you need to say is absolute path. There is if you go to this method, there are different methods or constructors available. Append, boolean append. There is another constructor, two arguments constructor. As of now, we are using single argument constructor. There is a 2 argument constructor, file name, comma, boolean append, which means if you say true this one, then it will say it doesn't override. Instead of that, it will keep adding it. Let me show you. Let's run this program now. Third time I'm writing onto file. See, second time I'm updating onto the file. Third I'm updating onto the file. You see what I'm saying? Did you guys got it what I'm trying to say? So if I keep it here /n, now let me try to write 4th time I am expecting on new line. Let me refresh and open it. Oh, it's not going, that slash is not taking, new line character is not taking. There is some other way, it's not a big deal, just check it around, you will find it. Oh, okay, sorry. I think I should have done this end of the file, not end of the file, beginning of the file you need to do. Let me try this, okay? I hope this time. If the time it must on new line. Nope, not worked. Really cow. It isn't. Yeah, there may be some setups will be there. Very simple thing. You just look, Google it, you can find it. Okay. So there are a bunch of ways I said you right. Like I'm not covering everything. I'm just covering the simple ways of reading the file and writing onto the file. Okay. One is file writer. Another one is using file reader. So file reader, all you need to do is first you need to create a file reader by passing the full path and then you pass it to the buffer reader object. Once you get the buffer reader, you start reading the file from reading the data from that file, each line at a time, one line at a time. Read line, right? One line at a time. And file writer is something where you want to write onto the file. So even though you don't have a file in your system, it will create automatically and give it to you. And if you want to append to the data, existing data, not to override the data, you need to pass the append concept, and then file writer will simply write it into the flush it on whatever the text that you want, you can flush into the file. Okay. So there are two different ways we learn, right? So that's it all about files. So my request is, it's a little challenging but interesting if you try. I want to read data from the Excel file. Let's say if I send this Excel sheet to you, I want you guys to read this data and display it. All I want is read this data. I'll send this Excel sheet. Let's say I want to read you guys. I want you guys take it as an assignment. Read this Excel file. It's not at all a big deal. Okay, there are already predefined built-in functionalities available. All you need to do is how to pick the right ones. Okay. First time when you're writing what's happening here and how the data is going there, how it is able to connect to the XLS file from Java, these kind of questions may arise. Okay, it's okay, completely normal. But two things. Okay, I was keep forgetting to tell you. Understand the concept. Okay, as much as you can. Okay, once you understand the concept. Okay, so understanding concept is nothing but, let's see, you are creating an object here. This is an understanding of the concept. Okay, you are creating a new object again and passing that object to another object, another class, so that you can get buffer reader object. Because you need to pass these things, because this buffer reader constructor is expecting a reader input. This is an understanding the concept. Okay. How many I can remember from where this file reader comes, from where this buffer reader comes, how they wrote the code inside? Don't worry too much about it. Because as and when you go to the advanced technologies, advanced Java, there are a bunch of these kinds, you keep using it. Okay, that is the reason
You get after 10 years also, without Google you can't survive. Because remembering all these new things that are coming up every day because of this open source concept, it's very challenging for remembering. All you need to know is have the common sense, have the Java thinking, and understand the basics concepts. Okay, so if by reading this line, if you can't understand, that is the problem. Okay, what while do here, that is really a problem. But okay, so he is using BufferedReader to read the file, and then he is assigning to text, and then it is simply displaying the text. That's, if you understand to that level, that is good enough. Okay, but understanding is not only good enough. If you keep practicing, your understanding will get better. Okay, so that's it from terms of files concept. So in the same lines, we have a concept called serialization. Serialization, very interesting and important concept. Okay, what is serialization? Serialization is nothing but, let's say you wrote a program on your computer. You created some student object and or else like some, let's say you created some website object or student object or employee object, and you added some, created some employees, and you created employee objects, 10 to 15 employee objects, and you know the information. But what are you trying to do with that information? Once your program is done, the entire information is gone, right? So that is the reason in advanced technologies, what you will try to do, those kind of information you try to store it in, some database, some text file, NoSQL database. So you try to store somewhere that gets persisted. The file concept. So what if you want to pass, I want to have a system where I can write it into some file, and when I give that file, you can load that object into your system. As of now, you can simply pass these files to you, right, in email or whatever, but I cannot pass the object, the physical object that is getting created in the memory. I cannot able to pass that object. If you want to pass that object between two JVMs, right? Let's say in your, you guys understand, right? In your system, at any cost, only one Java will be running. One Java, you can put it in the class path. You can install as many Javas as you want, but when you type in, you want to pass some objects from one system to another system, or you want to pass objects to the database, right? So the data that you are passing is an object that you created in this memory, right? As and when this program is done, the JVM is done. So you want to pass these objects into some way, some system where it can be get persisted, or where it can be used by someone else, right? So a simple way, one second now. when you log in into some, let's say Bank of America, from where all this data is coming? Is Bank of America deployed an application into your system? No, right? They have this application running somewhere in their network, in Bank of America network. But as and when you type bankofamerica.com, using this all the Route 53 or DNS, all the blah 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 stuff, somehow it gets into the Bank of America network, and then it goes to the right application, and then it will show the login page from there. So from Bank of America server to your login page will be loaded, and then when you enter credentials, again your credentials will be passed through the internet all the way from your system to the Bank of America application wherever it is running, and they will verify whether your credentials are correct or not. Then they will send the data, you are successfully logged in, and your account details and your bank details and whatever the information, whatever the transactions you did, right? So every time, every moment you try to access something, the data has been transferred between systems, transferred through internet across, right? So in those lines, you want to use these objects to be persisted or given back to the somewhere else, right? So you want these objects that you are creating need to be traveled across. Not you don't want them to live within this JVM, right? So for that purpose, serialization comes into picture. Serialization comes into picture. Okay. So what is serialization? Serialization is nothing but, let me see, let me show you the definition. Oh. To serialize an object means convert its states to byte stream so that the byte stream can be reverted back into a copy of object. A Java object is serializable if its class or any of its superclass implements either the java.io.serializable interface or its sub-interface java.io.actionalizable. Deserialization is the process of converting the serialized from an object back into a copy of the object. Okay, so what it's trying to do is basically, like I said, if you want to use this object to be transferred between, you need to convert into. So the object concept is died off as and when it comes out from the JVM, right? So you need to convert this object into some other form where it can live outside and then send it back into another JVM. Here you can convert back into another object. Okay. So if you want to convert into byte streams, you can convert into byte streams, some text file or some whatever the file, and then use that file to load into another class, another JVM. Okay. Write a program, and it's always easy to practical, theoretical. Serializable. Spellings are very bad. So what I will do, I'll take some what you call some class. Okay, let's call it as website implements. So first thing foremost is if you want to pass any objects, let's create an object first. Okay, private. let's say ranking, okay, and private string purpose. Public setters and getters will create, and what you call equals method, hash code method, all things will do, okay. You guys able to hear, right? No issues, right, with the voice and video? Let me know. You created an object. So if you want to make this object to be serializable, which means you want to pass it across and you want to make it persisted, right? Then all you need to do is, first and foremost thing is implements serializable, implements serializable interface. Serializable interface is in a marker interface. Serializable is a markup interface, marker interface where you don't have any methods. See, it's just a concept. There is no methods to implement. It's just a concept or behavior, or you are just injecting the specification into your object. You are injecting your specification into object. Okay. So now you can make this object persisted across. Okay. So how do you do that? So let's say you want to write this data into some object. Okay. So I'll say first I'll create an object, website, W equal to new website. Okay. Then WS dot set name, W dot set purpose, W dot set rank. Rank is 10. Search engine, site name, Google. So this W, this W is your object with the search engine Google with rank 10. Now you want to make this a persisted object, send it to the flat file. So what you can do, string file name equal to new, website .txt. Okay, so then all you need to do is where you want to write it, right? So you want absolute path, ABS path equal to system dot get property of user.dir. By asking like this, it can provide you the absolute path. It is not simple string, okay? It's a string which has some meaning. Okay, when you pass it to the property, it looks for the test. Somewhere it looks fancy. It's okay. It's no point in testing. Then string full path equal to absolute path You can write it simple way also, but just and what you call it, file dot separator plus file name, right? So you got the full path now, where you want to persist this object. As of now, we're writing our text file, right? Now we want to persist this Google object. Okay. Now you can try. There is a new another concept also you're going to learn here. So try is a block, right? Inside as not only block, you can move this. We can write like, you know, whatever the statements that you want to close. For sure, whatever the statement that must be closed can be kept in this try block. Okay, kept in this try block. Then those statements automatically closed by. You don't need to write explicitly finally and write it. So let's say I am going to write file output stream. This is something I'm going to create a file output stream. I need to close this. So if you keep it inside this block, whatever these objects, you don't need to close explicitly in the final block. Okay, that is another concept in try in different format. What they call it is try. Yeah, they call it as try with resource. Try with resource. They call it as a regular one is try. Okay, block. But if you try to keep something like this, then it is called try with resource. Okay, a try with resource statement is a try statement that declares one or more resources. A resource is an object that must be closed after the program is finished with it. The try with resource statement ensures that the resource is closed at the end of the statement. Okay, that's what it means. Try with resource. New file output stream. File output stream, you just need to pass full path. That guy will do. And then comma. You are persisting what object, right? So you need to convey that object output stream it is. Pass the file input stream, file output stream. Comma separated. Semicolon separated. Yeah. Catch block, it says it's crying for catch block, let's skip it. IO exception. IO. Okay, or else I dot constructors. Okay. Here you're going to flush, you're going to write this object into this file. Website object with the Google name, search engine, all these things. Okay. So object output stream dot write object. Not simple write, you're writing an object. Okay, so you're writing an object of Google object. Okay, then what you need to do is object output stream dot flush. You don't need to close it, as you kept inside this block, try with resource block. It will try to close this one as and when it is done. It will try to close file output stream, object output stream. Okay. So let's go back and see whether this file is created or not. And in the beginning, does we have this file? Nope, right? So we don't have that file here. Let's try to run the program. And come back here. So some text file has been created, and let's go and check. So what is there here? Can you able to understand this data? Can you able to understand anywhere? Some blah blah or some special characters, some byte codes. This is nothing but a byte code, and the object has been written into the file. Okay. Now, if I send this file into email to you and you can read it, you can deserialize that object. You can see deserialize this text file into, you can deserialize this text file into whatever the format file that you want. I mean, whatever the object that you want. When I say whatever the object in a sense, you can convert into a website object on your system. Okay, even though without creating this, you can get this object when you try to use this file and read this data and use it. That is nothing but a deserialization. Serialization is writing onto the flat file. Deserialization is reading from the flat file. Okay, serialization is nothing but, you just saw it, right? Serialization is nothing but an object. To serialize an object means to convert its states to byte stream from object state, or from its states himself, object state to byte stream, so that the byte stream can be reverted back to a copy of other object. Okay, so now we saw serialization. Let's try to do the same program just by removing this line. What happens? We'll see. Okay, run this. It didn't work because com.billinfo-6day22 website is not serializable, because now you are not implementing the serializable concept. Only when implementing the serialization, it understand your object need to be serialized. Your object need to be converted. You may be looking for your object to pass it through wires, pass it through internet, pass it into the outside of JVM. Okay, clear? Okay, this is serialization. What is deserialization? You want to extract it, right? It's simple. Deserialization. Serialization. You already have a website object. All you need to do is read this file and get that object into your class. Okay. So same thing. I'll just copy paste certain things. This I just need to know where it is, file is there, right? So I'll just copy pasting that text. And then I need to get a website object. I'm going to get a website object. I know it, right? Website, something like that, equal to new website. It's an website object without any data. Now I want to get my website object built with a Google object. I'm not going to create anything here Google. I'm just going to read from the file. Okay. So now you need to read it, right? So input stream. When you're writing into the file, it's output stream. So try catch exception SISOUT. Here catch and try is what you need to do first. File, input stream, FIS equal to new file, input stream, full path. Okay, next thing is object, input stream. You need a object, input stream, full path. Okay, next thing is object, input stream. You need a object, input stream, full path. Okay, next thing is object, input stream. You need a object, input stream, full path. Okay, next thing is object, input stream. You need a object, input stream, full path. Okay, next thing is object, input stream. You need a object, input stream, full path. Okay, next thing is object, input stream. You need a object, input stream, full path. Okay, next thing is object, input stream. You need a object, input stream, full path. Okay, next thing is object, input stream. You need a object, input stream, full path. Okay, next thing is object, input stream. You need a object, input stream, full path. Okay, next thing is object, input stream. You need a object, input stream, full path. Okay, next thing is object, input stream. You need a object, input stream, full path. Okay, next thing is object, input stream. You need a object, input stream, full path. Okay, next thing is stream is equal to new object input stream of file input stream. Okay, here we're going to have the logic. Okay. Now you need to say you are going to get whatever the object that you are going to read. So from full path, you said like, where is your serialized object in white streams, flat file. Okay, so now your file input stream, object output stream is holding that full path in this website object, Google website object. Now you want to read that into your object, right? So what you need to do? Object input stream dot read object. Okay, and then you need to access into your website object, whatever the dummy object you created here, empty object, website equal to, but as it is returning object class, you need to downcast it. So how can you do that? You just need to downcast it by website. Okay, so now if you try to display here SYS OUT, let's run this program. Got some exception. Why? Full path correct, right? Serialization, does we remove that? There. Serializable is there. Website.txt file, right? Website.txt. Now does we have to stream? What's the problem? Let me try to do serialization. Purpose. When I compile this here, let me run this guy again, and then come back here and run it. Yeah, actually that when I removed, right? When I removed and try to add it again, it doesn't recompile. So that's the problem. So you got search engine. So let's say I'll remove this guy and try to display. You'll get it. Website, Google, rank 10 for search engine. See, there is no relation between this class and this class. Okay, don't get confused. This what this serializable class did, it went ahead and writing into the flat file. Okay, even if I send this flat file to you in email, and as long as you have this website class, as long as you have this website class implementing serializable in your system, and you write the serialization, deserialization code, you can able to get that object. Clear? Clear, buddy? Okay, there is one simple line. Okay, this one looks like very nice and everything is perfect. There are certain scenarios where you don't want certain fields to be serialized, certain fields to be right into the file. Certain files, certain data you don't want. Okay, you want name, you want purpose. You don't want to serialize this rank, or else let's say there is a concept called, instead of purpose, there is a concept called SSN number. Okay. You don't want to write onto the flat file because SSN is so secured, right? There are some situations where you encounter those kind of things, right? So in those scenarios, if you don't want to, your particular variable, particular data type, particular value, you don't want to serialize and deserialize, then you need to make that variable as transient. When you make that variable transient, your value will be null. Let me show you. So when I say transient, if I keep transient keyword here, transient, yeah, transient. When I make this variable transient, what happens is when you try to serialize itself, this value, whatever the value you have here, search engine, it doesn't get serialized. Okay, it will be excluded. But Google and rank 10 will be serialized. So when you try to deserialize, you will get only Google and rank. You don't get the purpose because you made purpose as transient, because you thought like this is some secure data. You don't want to serialize and deserialize. You don't want to go outside of your JVM. This kind of data you don't want to go outside of JVM, let's say. Okay, so let's see what happens. So let me run this program first because you change the program, and then come back and run here this program. If you see, purpose is null. Earlier it was search engine. So let me show you. Earlier it was like, if I remove this guy and rerun this and come back here, run this, Google 10 rank for search engine. But as and when you add the transient here, that value doesn't get serialized, and that value is not passed to the as part of DeSerialization as well. Okay, that's all about serialization, deserialization, transient keyword. Okay. What is pending? Enum, right? Yeah. Enums, it's a simple concept. Enum, Java tutorial. So what they say is enum. Let's say if you want to write a static, final keyword, what we will do? Final. I mean, if you want to write if you want to make a variable, a particular variable final, what you will do? Constant. If you want to make a variable constant, just you will say final, and whatever it is, whatever the string it is, you will assign that, and you will keep use the word final. So what they suggest you is, if you have more constants, and if you think keeping them together has a meaning, then enum will act as a collection of finals. What I'm trying to say is, as per their example itself, directions. When I use the word directions, you have 4 options, 4 constants, right? East, west, north, south. These are the 4 directions that comes into picture. They are constants, they are fixed, right? So I can use these 4 keywords into my directions. Whenever I say week, I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. These are constants. You can keep them together using enums. Year, number of months, right? Anything has some value, right? So if you have more constants, you can use what you called enums. Okay, so how do you write the enums? How do you execute the enums? I'll show it here. Enum demo. How do you write an enum? Right? So simple. Anywhere you can write. Use the keyword enum. Let's say I'll say go with the week. I want to show you week. It's as good as enum is as good as a class, okay? But it has different meaning. Not simple class, it's a holding the constants together. Okay? So in week we can take I'll say Sunday. Okay, when you are writing constants, you always use capital letters, okay? Sunday, I'll say starts with 1. Okay, my constructor. And then each one separates with Monday. How am I going on right? It's okay. I'll try it out. Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm just giving day number as well, okay? I'll show you different ways you can do. Saturday, Sunday. Sorry, Sunday is done, right? So end with this guy, semicolon. It is saying, so you are keeping a week is an enum, and these are when you enter something right like this, they considered as constructor, like what you call the argument based constructor. A week with Sunday, it is as good as writing like this, class Sunday, and here you have a Sunday constructor, some int a. Sorry. Okay, you write like for Monday, you write it for Tuesday, you write it for Thursday. Rather than that, what it is saying, when you write enum, you can use this concept, okay, constants together, and you can play around the constants. You can give some values to the constants, okay. By default, you don't need to have, okay. For example, let's say one at a time will go. So these are default constructors, right? And then I'll say like empty week constructor. I don't do anything. So okay. Default constructor. Just I'll do constructor. Okay. This is my enum for now. Okay. So here what I can do, I'll show you how to use that, right? So basically this is a list, right? It's kind of a, you can return it as an array as well. So there are built-in functions available inside. Whenever you use enum, some functions will add automatically, that is like that value and those kind of things. So I'll show it to you. So how do you extract these weeks from enum? All you can do is week equal to enum dot values. When you ask week dot values, you will get an array of weeks. An array of weeks, that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, right? You see, default constructor you can mention like this also. Okay. So now if you want to display, you just need to array, right? Just display the array, whatever the way. How do you display the array? You can use for each for int I assigned to 0, I is less than or equal to week dot length minus 1 I plus plus. Here you can say week of I. Default constructor calls and then Monday, Tuesday, Fridays are displayed. Okay. So you are keeping a set of constants which has meaning together using the enums. Okay, these value never change, right? In a week. So you can keep them together. So another one is like another option is like if you want to have some value to the each and every day, right? So let's say 1 and 2, 3. This is the not default constructor now. 4. It's a single argument constructor. 5, 6. Yeah, 6. I'll do something else different also. 7. I'll copy this. I'll create another enum. Different enums so that for learning purpose next time also, you can simply look at it and understand easily what we tried. Enum week day. Okay, we call it as weekday, and so week and day, not weekday. Now it looks for argument constructor, so you need to do week of this is okay. How about now? Are we good? Okay. Now I created argument based constructor because I am passing one argument for each and every one, and this dot day equal to day. So now you assign the day to. Now if you want to pretend what day it is, like you can have it whatever the setters and getters, right? Void int get day, return whatever the day that has been passed if somebody asks. And you can have your own methods, dummy methods also inside public void some method, okay, method 1, something like that. You can call them as well. I am a method inside enum. You can write methods as well, whatever the methods that you want. Okay, now it's single argument constructor, right? Let's see what we can do with this as well. So week and day WD equal to, what you can ask is week and day dot values. You got the values here, right? So it is an array, right? Okay. Now you got the array. Okay, so now you can display like SYSOUT week dot value of, let's say somebody passed Friday. Week dot value of Friday. Somebody passed. Okay. Or else somebody, let's see what is the result here, right? So value of Friday is Friday. It's just returning whatever the value. Okay. So another way you can try is like SYSOUT week first one of dot get day. Not, sorry, this one I passed it wrongly, right? I'm always passing wrong value. WD. WD dot sorry, you need to directly, you can ask, keep confusing, sorry, week and day dot value. It's a what you called value of is a static method. You can call it from enum directly, which will by default you will have this one. Okay, value of, let's say value of Friday. And get, let's see what happens. Friday. Weekday dot value of Friday is Friday, and weekday of get week one of one, when you by passing one and get day, you will get 2. Why are you getting 2? Because yeah, it's a, your array starts with 0 and 1, right? So 1 is what is the value in 1? 2. You guys getting confused little? I don't know. So basically you simply remember, so now you want to go with another constructor with which is having what you called let's say 2 argument constructor, like call it as, confused with the value. This one is built-in function actually. What it does is value of, it will Yeah, get day, the way you implemented is get day is just return the day. Whatever you implement here will be returned. Okay, here you can say, let's say, okay, I'll do one thing, okay. Switch. Switch. Case 1. Okay, case 1. Then if you have get day here, if you have string, okay, don't worry, I'll explain. Case 1 is Sunday. Okay. I'll just do it 2 or 3, okay? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, case 1, case 2, 3, case 4. Did we do anything, something wrong? Case you need to Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You can write whatever the implementation that you want based on your need. 5, 6, 7 plus THURSDY Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay. Default. Yeah. That's what you're writing, right? System return null. So if you run this program again, from weekday, Monday, weekday of value of Friday, you got it Friday, W1 dot get of 1, right? So W1 dot get of 1 is Monday, whatever the mode or whatever I write it there, right? So if I say 3 Wednesday, if I say 5 you'll get Friday. From where this null is coming, I don't know. Maybe I'm not breaking it, I'm breaking it, right? Oh, this guy written. Just put it down here. Friday. Got it? It's all about how you implement the getDay method. I just want to show you to return some data, but if you really want to have some business logic like this, you can have it. Make sense? Okay. So